I thought about getting one, but
It's nice just Bluetooth music and
yeah.
you know, stuff like that. Radio for
John 10, November 66, Mike, I'll be departing on 2, County westbound, parking.
obviously cheaper than the Bose.
Yeah.
The Bose has a better sound quality as far as when I call somebody and they're on a Bose and they're flying, I can't tell they're even in a helicopter.
Really?
Yeah. But they can't Bluetooth to their phone.
They can't?
They can for phone conversations, but not for music. They have to hard plug it in.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why.
Upside out, to warm up. Shouldn't take too long.
No.
Actually, I think it's actually already warmed up.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, check manifold pressure, engine gauges. Green, green, green. Make check.
John 2, traffic, Bonanza, 2 uniforms, starting left final for runway 2, full stop.
Carb heat. Needle split. Door cyclic friction.
I hate when people say left final. It just bugs me. That'd probably be a fun little kid playing.
It's a cute plane.
Yeah. If I were you, just so you're not thinking that you should manually do anything above 80 knots. In other words, 80 knots is the point where it's just the governor's territory, just roll it up to 80, and now you never mess with the throttle at all.
Okay.
You don't have to actually roll it up there.
Okay. Alright.
The only reason I say that is because Robinson's had a lot of overspeeds because people manually roll it up and then forget to turn on the governor when they take off and go over revs the engine and the rotor cam.
Okay.
So as long as you think of 80 and above is not your territory, then
Okay. Cool.
yeah, alright.
Alright, everything's out and in the green. Alright, you clear?
Yep, we're clear.
Alright, let's go.
Alright.
When was 030 at 7?
Okay. It's gusty up there.
Yeah.
Now to check ride. The only you do is come straight up.
Straight up?
Yeah, because they have to judge you. They're judging you off of one rotor disc around you, whether or not you can hold that as you pick.
Oh, okay, so straight up, okay.
Yep.
Alright. I guess we're getting to that point that I need to know that stuff. I'm at 13.7 hours, I added it up.
Alright, so we'll end up taxiing into the grass.
Yeah.
You're fine.
What's that?
You just taxied onto the ramp.
Cool.
So I want to be a little bit lower,
Okay.
about 3 to 5 feet off the ground. I know everybody has different heights.
Yeah.
3 to 5 feet.
Yeah, 3 to 5 feet, yeah.
But
Just in case of the hovering auto.
yeah, keep Lex a little bit lower than that. But
Okay.
mine is better.
Alright. I bought my camera today. I was hoping someone would be here and take a couple photos
Oh, really?
flying. You're the only one,
Yeah. Weekends are usually pretty dead, especially Sundays.
Hotel departing from Alpha 2. It's going to be right traffic from parallel taxiway 2. John 2. Alright, no cluster warning lights, all in the green. Yeah. It feels good to me. I'm going to be in heat all day, so...
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Black asphalt.
Yeah. I've heard when it gets cold, though, it's really cold.
Oh, really?
That rain cleared everything out.
I know. It's beautiful. Alright, as in trim as possible.
What's that?
Get in trim as much as possible above 50 feet.
Say that one more time.
Trim. Fix it.
Oh, okay.
So you have that extra little climb.
Yeah.
Always, as soon as you get above 50 feet, you want to get the best amount of climb you can, so you're not spending too much time low and slow.
Yeah, okay.
There's 800 feet.
John 2 traffic, helicopter 222 Gulf Hotel is right downwind, parallel taxiway 2, John 2. Hotel, right base and final, parallel taxiway 02, John 2.
Gusty.
Yeah.
And there's a nice pinnacle that I just noticed, but it's in the rock quarry.
What is it?
A pinnacle approach.
Oh.
It's one of the things that you probably haven't done yet, but you may have to at some point.
John 2 traffic, airback 79 on the north, helicopter pad will be departure direct to the southeast from current location. John 2 go.
Race direct to the southeast. Looking out for the tailwind. That's not advisable. For some reason your headset and my headset don't like each other.
I don't think so.
No. I can barely hear myself.
I can hear you okay.
It's just garbled.
Yeah. 2 traffic, helicopter 222 Delta Hotel is short final for parallel taxiway 20 Alpha 2, John 2.
02.
02.
Alright. Oh, we got a plane taxiing down. They obviously don't care about us.
Let's go, Father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 traffic helicopter 222 Gulf Hotel is extending our final to parallel taxi to Alpha 3 intersection for the taxi low way John 2. Who obviously is not using a radio at all or doesn't care about us. my jacket, and then also get to just the Navy mark.
Okay.
Second. Hear myself. The Navy mark under your seat or mine?
It's under yours. Oh, the headset's under mine, sorry.
Yeah, you have to get out.
Okay. Better?
Yeah, better.
Wow.
A lot better.
Cool.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Alright, I got it.
Yep.
Alright, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
No lights. Green, green, green.
Alright, let's back taxi a little bit and see if we can do a quick, get enough room to do a quick stop.
Okay.
I figured two David Clarks would probably like each other.
What's that?
I said I figured two David Clarks would probably like each other.
Yeah.
Good passing 34 Mike, front of runway 2, heading north. Good.
Yeah, that's so much better. It's amazing.
Yeah. Alright, that's probably far enough down.
That's good? Okay.
Yeah, it's something to do with the impedance of two headsets, like they just don't like each other's frequency.
Yeah.
Like I told you last time, I've had it happen with a Zulu, the original one, and a Zulu 2. They don't like each other.
Wow.
That one's really bad. Alright, so remember, normal takeoff, 40 knots up to 40 feet. Start with the lowering of the power and do small, medium, and kind of ease it out.
Alright. Alright, there's 40. Well, it was.
Yeah, it's alright. Again, level out. Alright, it's good. Down, right, aft, all the way aft. And push forward. So yeah, I think you maybe fell just a little bit. You need to use a little bit more of that large power. You just have to pull more aft or a heavier aft the slower you get.
Alright, do we have enough room to do it again?
I think so, a small one. We'll do it all the way to the end.
Okay.
You maybe pull in a little bit of power and get going faster. There we go. So 40 knots, come up. Alright, ready? Down, right, aft, small, medium, large, and now we're covered. Good. So it's a feeling of when to use each, and then also a feeling when you don't have anything left and you have to push forward. Okay, that was perfect. Cool. And then you can slowly use that coordination then to do it as quickly as you want to, as needed. Alright, let's see if we can do a max performance. We're not going to get very high, but we'll see. So at this point you can kind of slingshot off the ground by getting a little lower and then pulling in all your power. So get low, 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 and alright, now pull power and ease it back. Remember, max performance, you're just taxiing forward like this.
Okay.
Above a 50-foot tree.
So you're trying to go up more than forward?
Yes.
Okay.
It feels like a taxi.
Traffic control. Okay.
They call it a 30-knot attitude, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
It's to reach it, to get above a 5-foot obstacle that's in front of you.
Okay.
Straight into full stop runway 2, traffic permitting. Copy.
2 traffic, helicopter 222 Golf Hotel, just departed from Alpha 3, Tower taxiway 02, it's going to be right traffic, John 2.
and do a quick stop. Down, right, aft, keep going aft. Alright, and now up, left, and forward, and then just sort of hover out of ground effect. Now we've got a 20-something knot wind anyhow, maybe up here. But, alright, good. So that coordination is good for the quick stop, bottom of an auto, and then also out of ground effect hover or anything you're doing.
Okay.
Now, of course, as you're doing stuff like this, you always have to realize, how is the wind going to affect me?
Yeah.
So if you were to do one like this, and have a tailwind, it's a little rougher, but no threat of settling with power because you're level.
Yeah.
But it is going to get squirrely.
John traffic, helicopter 222 Gulf Hotel is right downwind, parallel taxiway 02, John 2.
Alright, we'll go ahead and do a straight in auto.
Okay.
At this point. To whichever intersection is open.
Okay. Is 1200 good? Or, it's going to be at 1,000. We're going to do it
at 1,000, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll come down then. I want to make sure I'm practicing at what I'm going to be tested at.
Yeah. Now, you can guess what the wind is. We're not going to glide as far.
Yeah.
No, it's not super strong. So it's not going to be quite at the top of the trim strength. It'll probably be somewhere around here.
Okay. And the point is to keep it at that, wherever your landing spot is, at those points?
You mean while you're entering or while you're gliding? No. The point is to just use that angle. So since I'm at 70 knots, if I were to auto right about now, I'd go to that red, orange machinery down there. And then right now it would be at the truck on the road or the car.
Yeah.
And then it's just to judge how far you can go.
At that initial point when you're...
Yes.
Okay.
But during, you don't look at that at all. You hold a 70 knot attitude.
Okay.
And you'll get there.
Okay. Alright.
Controls.
Got it. John 2 traffic, helicopter 222 Gulf Hotel is right base to final, parallel taxiway 20, it's going to be going to Alpha 2, John 2.
Lowering, gauge is green, car beats out, good.
Car beat is up?
Yeah,
alright.
I just pulled up. So it's to use that reference point on when to enter,
okay,
and then hold 70, lock it down, and put it in your small bump. We're going to get some gusts, so it'll be a little bit up and down every once in a while.
Alright. I looked over the video of those 180.
Oh yeah?
That's cool. I got a couple screenshots. We're like kind of banked over, really cool.
Oh, cool. I thought you meant like a YouTube video, but now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, just from this.
Alright, so we're at a 70 knot attitude. Wait for a four-way to come into view. Looks like it's going to be in about 3, 2, 1. Down right aft. Flat helicopter. Lock it in. Wait for the bump. Bump it. Get that nose nice and flat. Lower your collective. That's okay. Alright. Ease back a little bit on that. Aft. Level out. More aft. All the way aft. Now we're covered. Alright, that was fine. We just should have noticed that it was falling a little bit slowly over time. But what that does, when you lower your collective, is it makes you more vertical. Okay, so think about when your rotor RPM is building, when you put in a bump, it doesn't just stop at the needle itself. What it does is it gives you more lift. So you glide farther. Okay. Right? It's more horizontal. Yeah. So when you take that bump out, you're going to start falling vertically.
Down. Okay.
So that's why when that happens, we have to be ready to start easing. Regardless, if you're coming down towards the ground and it looks like you're going a little too fast, just use a little bit of that. Okay. You know, you can slow it down. That's fine. Alright, good. Let's try another one. Okay.
Country traffic, helicopter 222 Gulf Hotel to find Alpha 2, right traffic, Country for parallel taxiway 2, Country. Alright.
Ever done a cycling climb?
No.
Yeah. You just get going faster than 40. Remember, most people think that this collective is their go-to But if there's, say, some power line or something in front of you, your cyclic is what will get you above it.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
So when would you use that? I mean, like, okay,
There's
the power line.
Now, the power line, you don't have to be going that fast to do that. That won't work at any airspeed.
Okay.
So if you're going 10 knots and there's a power line in front of you, pull back, and then it acts more like a round wing than it does individual rotor blades.
Okay.
So you're basically you're sacrificing your airspeed for altitude. That's all you're doing. All right, you
It's
got
that balloon effect.
Yeah.
Using the balloon effect.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
okay.
what you of course don't want to do is push forward after that, because then that would be a negative G pushover.
And that's not good.
Yeah. All right. We're already up at 1,000 feet, so we can go ahead and turn. But on all the tests, they say, oh, what do you do if there's a power line? And they say, pull open your collective. Pull after your cyclic, and it's going to happen instantly.
Okay.
It will also slow you down from horizontally getting close to the...
44 Papa Kilo taxi on runway 2 for departure, John 10.
John 2 traffic, helicopter 222 Golf Hotel is right traffic, parallel taxiway 2, John 2. I'm glad we're all agreeing on airports this afternoon.
Well, you never have trouble when they're taking off to the north, because left traffic is what they're used to.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say left traffic's what you guys are used to.
Yeah.
Good Unicom, Bonanza 578.
It's fun to go back on like my first lesson and then go to like number 10 and just see the progression.
Well, normally people don't progress as fast as you have.
You know, it helped a lot for me to fly straight and level and then hover to get the small motions down pat.
Oh yeah, that's how we usually do it.
Yeah. John 2 traffic, helicopter 222 Golf Hotel is right base. The final parallel taxiway 2, John 2. Yeah, that helped out a lot.
Okay, traffic 44 Papa Kilo left base, runway 2, departing to the west, John 10.
Left to crosswind, you mean?
Yeah,
Left base. It's probably the same guy that called left final. He's left, that's all he knows.
Yeah.
Ducking and ducking.
Yeah. I was like, alright, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What do you want to do this time?
Same thing, straight in auto. We'll move to 180s, but extra entry was good. Just fine tune it on the way down.
Okay. To the portway?
Yep.
Okay.
RV's coming all the way up. 20 lines
Thanks.
gauges, fuel. Nobody's taxiing out, so we're good. I'd say in about 3, 2, 1. Down right aft. Nice and flat. Bump it. Just a hair. Rotor up here. Airspeed looks good. Ease back just a hair. A little bit more. Let it fall. Stop flaring. And now flare harder. And now recover. Now, we got a gust of wind as you started to level off, and leveled you off high.
Okay.
In that case, you stop flaring, and you let it fall. And you don't push forward, because that would make you fall too fast. But you just stop flaring, let it fall, and then realize you're going to have to continue to flare a little harder.
Okay.
Now also, I saw you try to gain back your airspeed, right? When you do that, you're going to change the profile a little bit, and it's going to lower your rotor RPM. So in that case, you may have to lower your collective and ease forward. So as you gain back your airspeed, it doesn't sacrifice rotor RPM.
Okay.
But that whole situation will make it so you might have to ease off a little bit of your airspeed earlier to slow down that vertical rate of descent. So it's almost like to solve a problem, you cause another problem.
Okay. It just kind of built on it.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's once again, if you're going towards the ground, sacrifice a little bit of that airspeed just so you can the whole thing happens a little bit slower so you can ease it on.
Okay.
You don't want to rush into it.
Yeah.
All right, that was good. Let's try 180. So we'll take off, get to 1,000 feet, and then 1,200 feet on the downwind.
Okay. Country traffic, helicopter 222 Gulf Hotel is departing from Pirouettes taxiway at Romeo 3, John 2. Flight traffic, copy.
Now, on a day like today, the glide portions aren't going to be a third, a third, and a third. Because since when we enter on downwind, we'll have a tailwind, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to be going pretty quick on the ground. And when we turn, we're constantly going to push this direction. And then when we're on final, we're going to have a headwind. So you're going to have to turn a little bit sooner than last time.
Okay.
Now last time there was no wind. This time there's like a moderate amount of wind. So my guess is, generically, remember we're going to keep everything else constant. When we enter 1,200 feet over the same spot, sort of over that, over the FBO or over by Hangar 3 a little bit.
Okay.
70 knots, beam or shoulder, all that's going to be constant. When you decide to turn and then how you manipulate your turn is going to be the two things that change.
Okay.
It'll be a little bit easier on this side because you'll be turning to the side that you can see.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. So now, the only thing that changes about the entry is instead of checking your rotor RPM right after you verified you were 70, now I want you to check your spot.
Okay.
Because if it's coming up pretty fast, when we turn, we're going to be pulling in a bump anyhow, right? Alright, good. This is looking perfect. We'll go for the four-way.
Okay.
And we're going to go right over these planes parked by Hangar 3 or Hangar 1.
Mooney 496 Delta Echo taxiing from the tie-down area to runway 2.
We're going to go through the three-way.
Three-way, okay.
Country traffic going up to 2 Golf Hotel. Give me short right base final 180 degree signal engine guard intersection of Alpha 3 John 2. 3, 2, 1. Down right aft. Alright, look at your spot. Turn. Pulling some pitch. Pulling that pitch. Good. Look at your spot again. Looking good. 70 knots. This is looking real good. Alright, turn a little bit sharper. A little bit sharper. Pulling some pitch. And you should make that sharper turn. Okay, now straighten out and lower your pitch. And then flare, 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 all the way. And recover. Good. We're a little short. That's kind of hard to tell. We should have actually started turning a little bit sharper earlier on.
Turning sharper, okay.
Yeah, in other words,
It's that tailwind that's throwing me off just a little bit.
and you know what? It may look fine when you make the turn and you start to turn, but during the turn you're constantly getting pushed that way.
Yeah.
All right, that was good. Let's try it again. But you had everything perfect. 70 knots.
Cool.
Rotor RPM.
Great. Country traffic, helicopter 2 Golf Hotel departing from Pirouettes taxiway at Alpha 3, John 2, it's going to be right traffic.
You could almost say we should almost aim for this spot here
Okay.
on a strong wind day and the spot on the other side for a low wind day.
Okay.
Basically, you're never going to glide as much as you think with wind, and you're going to glide further than you think with no wind.
Yeah.
It's just inevitable.
That's just how it works.
What the hell the expression, that's the way the cookie crumbles?
That's the way the cookie crumbles, yeah. Bruce Almighty.
That's not the first time it was, though.
Oh, that's the first time.
Airbag 9 is just approach San Antonio. I'll be landing airbag flight team east to
Why are these cookies crumbling? Is it like people breaking cookies? We're like, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
the way
I
it
get to figure
crumbles.
half, or I
Yeah, I don't understand.
Traffic bear 10 after 6 miles to the south. Landing runway 2, John.
6, alright. $1,200 for this?
Yep.
Okay. 2 traffic, helicopter 222 Golf Hotel is right, downwind, parallel taxiway 2, John 10.
The dump.
Go for the 3-way again.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, car beat's coming up.
Alright.
Country traffic helicopter triple two Alpha Hotel, short right base final, 180 degrees simulated engine failure at the intersection of Alpha 3, John 2. Okay, looking good in 3, 2, 1.
Contact traffic, line flight 3 is
Looking just
mile and a half
fine.
to the east, transitioning
Just
east-west,
fine. Start to turn.
1,600.
A little bit sharper. Pulling some pitches, you make this turn. There you go, a little bit sharper. Alright, start to lower that pitch, lower. Ease it on back. Let it fall, now flare harder. There you go. Good. Some of that was assisted, it's already floated. I had already rolled the throttle back up through kind of floating, using power.
Oh, okay.
Alright, let's go for shorter.
Alright.
Which just means turn a little sooner. Okay. Because what we don't want to have to manipulate our spot.
Yeah.
Here, let me try it one time and I'll
Okay.
see if I can make it.
Okay.
Alright. John 2 traffic, helicopter 2 Alpha Hotel, taking off Rebel taxiway 02, right traffic, John 2.
You got one over here and one behind us. Coming in over the FBO.
Are they cross midfield or something?
No,
Helicopter?
yeah, helicopter.
Gotcha. Is he landing?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Looks like he's coming.
10 Alpha Kilo 5 southwest. Be planning a midfield left downwind entry for runway 2, John 2.
And John 2 traffic, Boeing 496 Delta Echo at Alpha 1 for runway 2, moving up to the line.
Alright, get on the controls.
Okay.
He's probably landing
And John 2 traffic, Boeing 496 Delta Echo taking runway 2 for straight out departure, John 2.
I got you inside. Inside Robinson's going in. Airback flight just east here.
Traffic helicopter 2 Alpha Hotels, gonna be short right base final parallel taxiway 02, simulated engine failure to Alpha 2, Alpha 3, sorry, John. Alright, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, down right half, looking at my spot, putting in a bump, turning earlier, look at my spot again. Got a gust of wind. Blue, it's gusty.
Yeah.
So gusty. Go ahead and ride this out a little bit. That's about as far as I can make it. Those gusts are deceiving.
Yeah,
they're deceiving because you're like, oh, this will be good, and then it drops off underneath it. Alright.
Left downwind.
Alright, now you try.
Alright, John 2.
John 2 traffic, helicopter 222, Delta Hotel, departing parallel taxiway 2 at Alpha 3, John 2 right traffic.
So, it's almost going to be more like a V, not a U.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What did they land over there for? I saw where he landed, but...
That's, it's one of their bases, so they'll launch out of there to say go to Ashland City to go pick up somebody and run them to Vanderbilt.
Oh, wow.
Live flight. I think it's, a lot of times they may fly from a good distance away.
Well, he landed like right over... I don't think it was light flight. They landed like right over here.
It's air evac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but air evac still goes to Vanderbilt, I think.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe I know they go to St. Thomas, and a couple other places. Baptist. So this is just one of their bases. It's kind of a crappy base. They just have a fuel farm there and a little, like, hangar.
Okay.
The only thing I can't tell is whether or not it's definitely a permanent base, or whether or not it's just an intermediate, you can't just camp out at the pad at Baptist Hospital, so they're just stuck here.
10 Alpha Kilo, turning left base, runway 2, John 2.
John 2 traffic, helicopter 222 Gulf Hotel is right downwind, parallel taxiway 2, John 2.
You see the two blue hangars?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the helicopter spin?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's their NRO, or called a Nashville refueling outlet or something like that. I forgot what the actual NRO stands for.
Okay.
Alright, 1,200 feet, looking good. Car beat's coming up. I'm not even gonna make a radio call. I don't see anybody coming in to land.
Alright. He's just on base.
Slow it out just a little bit. I doubt we'll scare him. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Down right aft. Look at it. Start to turn. Pull and pitch. Pull and pitch. Pull and pitch. Turn a little sharper. On turn. Now you've got 80 knots, 75 knots, so you'll probably make it.
Bear 10 left.
You can ride this out for a while. Lower your collective.
Runway 2.
Ease it out, ride 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 it out. Flare all the way back.
Contact traffic, Cessna November 6.
Yeah! Now hit roll the power on. Okay. Because of the low RPM. No, I did it right after the low RPM. Okay. Because during the flare, so you use a little bit of that power to get you going. But it was still good. It was very good. You see how hard we had to turn to be able to make this? There are some times when the wind's so strong, you cannot make this spot from that distance. It's almost like you could try to go sideways and you'd still be blown off. Wow. It's a combination of being blown so much downwind, so much during your turn, and having such a good headwind. So, that's fun. Yeah, I like them. Alright. We want to move on to something else, or you want to do another 180?
Something else is fine.
Okay. Well, let's go do some Colorado.
Taxi to runway 2.
Have you tried hovering around a point?
Yeah, we did it on the wind side. That was interesting.
It's a lot harder when there's wind.
Yeah.
Because half of it is, it's just, well, basically you get into ETL. Sorry, LTE. The loss of tail rotor. Yeah. You're going to get it left quartering, left cross, and tailwind. Right now we have it sort of a tailwind, which is actually my favorite out of the three. So take it and try to hover around this gravel spot right here.
Okay.
Right here won't be so bad. Here it's going to be a little tougher because it's hitting the side of our fuselage. You also have to think about aft. How far you are away from the spot.
Okay.
Here should be almost the most difficult as the wind. If we get a gust.
Inbound to traffic, station is 6163 Yankee, 10 miles to the south, to be a straight in for runway 2.
Alright, now try it the other way. Try this. So you're already, that maneuver is already basically getting you to split your brain into two separate areas. One, cyclic is your position over the ground, and then your collective, or your pedals are going to be where you're facing. So this is called a pirouette, and basically it deals with trying to keep yourself on this yellow line as you're turning. So you're just going to start to taxi forward.
Airback 9, Airback Mike, just east, and we'll be departing northeast with the right turn out.
Now, while doing always have to constantly think of what's forward for the cycling.
Yeah.
So it's forward this way, and now your cycling should be to the right to transition forward. And now your cycling is behind you to stay backwards, right?
Yeah.
And now just, so you're basically doing little, you're basically just doing little half moon shapes. All right, you got it?
Yeah.
Crescents.
Huh?
I said half moons instead of crescents. Like I'm eating fucking Lucky Charms or something.
Yeah.
So after a little bit, stay on the line.
Traffic 550 Hotel Golf, takes out for departure runway 2.
Pretty good. You gotta keep that speed with the pedals. It's real difficult. Especially in that last little bit when the wind wants to spin you around.
Leslie, how far out are you now?
Good. So sometimes you have to solve two problems. Keeping yourself going this direction with the cycling, and then also drifting back over the line with the cycling.
Yeah. That's kind of fun.
Alright, now when you're backwards, just stay backwards over it. Travel backwards over the line. Try to get up a little bit of speed. Alright, now stop by pushing forward. It's almost the opposite. Yeah. Cool. A lot of times in aerial photography you'll have to do something where it's sideways, and this is very loud, but you'll end up having to try something. Blades don't care what direction the helicopter's facing.
Right.
Right?
They're just spinning.
Yeah. Now in that situation you also have to realize a couple things. Making a pedal turn with your left is going to require power. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
But if you make a pedal turn, so if I were to turn around, you always, in this case, I always want to turn around to the left. Yes, it requires power, but it's much more controlled. If I were to, say, turn around like this to the right, you're basically allowing the helicopter, you would basically be allowing the helicopter to do what it wants to do, which is to turn to the right. And you may not have enough left pedal to stop what you started.
Okay.
That makes sense? So you might as well do it to the left, sacrifice a little bit of power, at least it's more controllable. It's just, this is a free-for-all. You never know quite whether or not you're going to be able to slow down or not.
Okay.
Alright, you got controls?
Yeah. We, going on the pattern or what?
Try an outer ground effect cover again. So slow all the way down, right, now I'm just fine-tuning. I mean, we're doing all sorts of little tiny things.
That's fine.
Just to, alright.
2 traffic clear, 550 Hotel Golf,
I want you to stay right over the highway. So you have to sort of reference something down here. The shuttering does not mean we're going to do something with power. What it means is that we're halfway in and out of ETL because we've got almost a 15 knot headwind.
Yeah. So this is how they hope, because I was asking Trey.
Taking off at 2, you're going to take a left.
You're asking Trey what?
As far as when y'all are flying for,
Channel 4?
yeah, Channel 4, like, you know, you're always moving, or do you stop, or what?
They like a dynamic shot. That's only their own personal preference. But yeah, if I want to shoot something like this, I'll find myself into the wind, and then I just sort of try and hold it as much as possible.
Okay.
And then just, you know, so they get the shot. That's only if it's like awkward, because it's on this side of the trees.
Yeah.
And this is the way the wind's coming from, and I've got a field to auto into.
Yeah.
Now, try to do a pedal turn like this. So try to do just a 360 pedal turn to your left. So fight that into the wind. And now aft. Nice and easy, get that left pedal in. Good. See how it wants to run away from you?
Yeah, it does.
And that was doing it the left pedal side. If you try to do it the right pedal side, it would get away from you.
Wow.
Alright, so now, kind of dive either direction, and you can use the wind almost like you're riding a wave as you go. So as you turn, so just basically start diving just a little bit, turn to the left, and the wind will catch you underneath and get you moving a little faster without losing altitude.
Cool. Okay.
So aerodynamics and hydrodynamics are actually identical.
Yeah.
It's just one you can see and it weighs a lot more.
3 miles west and down to the left downwind runway 2, John 2.
Alright, left downwind. He's
Johnson traffic here, 716 wind of a mile and a half to the west, maneuvering now to enter the downwind for runway 2, John 2.
Alright, we'll do a 180 real quick, and then we'll go down and do the hover autos that I said we were going to do a long time ago.
Okay. That's like a 30-knot headwind we were getting up here.
Yeah.
Actually, I tell you what, Junction traffic, I'll get behind the other traffic here. That's west of the
We're going to do our 180 to here.
Okay.
I'll make this call. So when it gets to beam your shoulders, go ahead and enter.
Driving full public hills, maneuvering to the west, going to circle back around.
Just pull the throttle.
No, just lower your collective. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
And the other traffic maneuvering west, I do have the inside.
Full left pitch. Gotcha, traffic. Helicopter 2 Golf Hotels, 180 degrees, 290. Clear to the northern portion of taxiway 02, John 2. Alright, feeling heavier, pull the pitch.
And to Bonanza,
Slow down.
going to be departing runway 02.
There. Looking good. Ease into it. Aft. And then recover. I'm looking forward. You get that feeling of I don't have energy left anymore?
Okay. Yeah, I actually felt that.
Yeah, that's good. Now, right before that, you want to say, I'm going to squeeze a last little bit out of it if I can, and then I have to recover. So, judge how much energy you actually have left as you're doing that.
Okay.
So you'll get a couple feelings. One is, I need to get lower, or I don't want to be too high off the ground. The other one is, I'm allowed to use this energy and without ballooning up. And then the last one is, I have no more energy left, and I've got to level out.
Okay.
And whatever picture you see, that's it. So a lot of times people say, oh, engine failure, always turn into the wind. Bullshit. If it's 5 knots, I'm not turning into the wind. I'm going to the biggest field.
Yeah.
The biggest field may be with the tailwind behind me. So that means when I have no energy left and I push forward, I may see I'm going 10 knots over the ground.
Yeah.
No big deal. It's better than landing in somebody's house.
Right.
Alright, let's turn around.
Terminal full stop and kilos left, downwind runway 2, full stop, John 2.
Okay, so I want you to take off. I want you to air taxi 40 feet, 40 knots. You're not going to feel the shudder until you get a good ways, good bit of speed over the ground, because you've got a tailwind, right? So remember, the aircraft does not care how fast you're traveling over the ground. All it cares about is airspeed. Okay. So start taxiing forward like you're going to take off, and you're going to have to wait for it for a while. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, and now you finally get the shudder. You got a tailwind. Now, we know we can't do a quick stop downwind, right?
Okay.
So what you're doing, Dutch traffic helicopter 2 off Golf Hotels, maneuvering for taxiway 20, east side crash, Dutch. Alright, so ease off a little bit on the speed, and travel.
Bonanza to the
I want you to do a quick stop in this direction.
Okay.
180.
So
Just come out a little bit, go ahead and start turning to your left. Then do a quick stop as you turn down, right, aft, and now push forward for speed. Alright? Good. Now, when you do that, and I'm gonna reproduce what you just did.
Okay.
Try not to lose any speed during that turn.
lose any. Okay.
When you think about settling with power, I want you to picture where your downwash is settling. As long as you're not settling in the same place your downwash is settling. So right now,
Which in a turn you wouldn't be.
you wouldn't be, no. But as long as you're keeping your speed up. So right now, my downwash is this way because of the wind.
Yeah.
Right? Basically, you're just doing a little
traffic,
left base and final.
Yankee left downwind runway 02, being southbound.
So you're just going down, turn, and then I didn't really have to do a quick stop. I mean, I told you to do one, but that's not my fault.
Yeah.
Okay, that was good. So the whole time we were turning, our downwash was going that way because of the wind. So we were never in the throttle settling with power. It actually changes the whole dynamics of the airspeed. So we could be going everything 16 to 24 knots. It's not ground speed, it's airspeed. So if you're going this way, it could be, 30 knots, or it's going to be less than that, so about 15 knots because the wind's helping you out.
Yeah.
If you're going this way, you can get all the way down to 5 knots over the ground, and you still have no chance of getting it settled power because the wind's blowing it so
It's
much.
always blowing it. Yeah.
So long as you can sort of picture where the wind's coming from and where it's going to push your downwash and never settle into that, then you're fine. Alright, let's find a slightly flatter spot. You got a little bit of a hill here. go over this dirt pile, so it won't be so bad. Alright, we'll try to make this nice and graceful. Remember, your right cyclic is just nice and easy. You're going to match the sound of the engine loss with your right pedal.
Okay.
Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1, and pull, pull, pull. Good. Remember, these two are interlinked, so as you pull up, it's left.
Just gotta do a little bit of left. Okay.
Alright, roll it up again.
Okay.
Counting traffic here, 6
Drift a little bit forward and to the left. Alright, that's good. Okay, ready? And 3, 2, 1, and pull it. Alright, good. I think a lot of times you have to, when you're going to put in your right pedal, it's got to be when it counts, which means while you still have high rotor RPM.
Okay.
So if you enter and then put in left pedal, or sorry, right pedal, it's not going to mean as much as the sound of the rotor RPM is falling, you're pushing it in. Because obviously with the sound of the rotor RPM falling, your tail rotor RPM is falling too. So this doesn't mean much if your tail rotor is already falling a little bit.
Okay.
Make sense?
So kind of put in pedal before you're recovering?
In other words, put in pedal as the sound of the engine. I'll do one. Okay. So as the sound of the engine goes, that's when I'm going to roll off. Okay. That's when I'm going to push in my right pedal. And remember, I'm taking care of my hover problem in the first couple seconds, first split second, so I can concentrate on my falling problem.
Okay.
So as I'm going to put in right pedal as the sound of the engine falls. Ready? 3, 2, 1, right side, and then left side. So I do this, and now I've got all day long to engage my pull.
You're getting that corrected first, and then you can work on raising the collective and adding the left pedal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do that 1/4 of the time. I'm going right pedal, right relax, and then the rest of the time I'm falling and just going. Oh, now I'm going to ease it in.
Okay.
It makes your head much more clear to focus on the two different jobs.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
And if you can get the right pedal and the right relax down, it becomes very brainless at that point. Alright. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, and pull, pull, pull. Good.
Wasn't a smooth landing, but
Well, you didn't pull up as much as you should have.
Okay.
But that doesn't matter. You fixed your problem. I think in that situation, usually when you tell a student to do something, they neglect some of the other stuff, but they do that one thing really well. You fixed your problem perfectly.
now I got to work on the collective.
Yeah. But,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. All right,
All right.
roll it up.
Do you have to leave it too, or do you have another student at two?
I have to leave it too, but I'll leave shortly after. We'll land it too.
Okay.
Alright, eyes outside. Okay, so right side fix and then left side.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, right side and left side. Good. Good. You straightened it out right as we touched down. Alright, one more. Added more left pedal than you think. It really kind of depends on your style of doing this hover auto. If you pull it, a majority of it all at once, you're going to have to put in more left pedal than you think.
Yeah.
If you do it nice and smooth, you may just add in a little bit of left pedal. So there's a point really, we want you to do a traditional, nice, easy pull.
Yeah.
But if you do one where you're a little bit higher up, like say this, when you pull, it's going to have to be all at once. So watch. 3, 2, 1. all at once and had to go boom, left
Yeah.
pedal and then back again, right?
Okay.
So it really depends on the amount that you're pulling, I think, is how much left pedal you should have.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Remember, corrective action is technically lower than collective, but you can break it away easier than cycling. It's not too bad. Alright, ready? So, I want you to get rid of that right problem, and then focus on just pulling a little bit as you go.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, and pull, pull, pull. Good. Nice. Very good. Alright, one more and then we'll taxi him in.
Okay.
Alright, eyes outside. 3, 2, 1, and pull. Good. Very good.
Sweet.
Yep. Alright, man. Once you get, I love hover autos now because it's so repetitive.
Yeah.
It's the same every single time. You can just do it without even thinking about it.
Call back.
Yep.
Alright. John 2 traffic, helicopter 222, Gulf Hotels, over taxi on Alpha to Alpha 2, John 2.
Traffic, full stop, still short final rolling 2, full stop, John 2.
So when it's pulling fuel, I noticed there was about a quarter tank in aux. Is it pulling equally on the same one? How does that work?
Originally, it's pulling equally on the same one. The only problem is the aux tank not only is obviously, it's a third of the fuel, and the main's 2/3, right? But the aux is up here. So when you're half tanks in both, it's even.
Okay.
Then the aux drops off first, because it's so little, and then the main drops off.
Okay.
So the way I actually think about it is like this. Don't look at the aux gauge at all, look at the main gauge. If you're full, you've got 3 hours. If you've got 3/4, you've got 2 hours. If you've got half, you've got... Here's when you do actually have to look at the aux tank.
Okay.
If you have half and half, you have an hour and a half. But then the aux drops off. So the half a tank in the main represents 2 times. Could be an hour, it could be an hour and a half, depending on how much you have in the aux.
Okay.
If they're both half and half, you have an hour and a half. If the aux is already dropped off, you have an hour.
Okay.
So it's 3 hours, 2 hours, hour and a half or an hour, and then right here's a half an hour. So technically we have a half an hour left before we're out of fuel and have a bare minimum for reserve.
Okay.
Right now we're actually at about a 45-minute reserve actually,
Okay.
because this aux is all the way dropped off.
Yeah.
And you'll see it when you're pre-flight next time. Look at the aux tank and look at the main tank and see how they're offset.
Okay.
But yeah, they both drain into a gasolator drain.
Okay. Everybody's out getting their flying in.
Oh no.
Mike is nice. Is that a Phenom?
It looks like it, yeah.
Phenom 100 it looks like.
Yeah.
Must be nice. That is...
Big plane for 4 passengers.
Yeah.
Such a big space in the middle of the seats.
Yeah.
Like you can play a game of Twister in there if you wanted to.
Yeah. Hey, so for this Hobbs, it was at 0.69.
Yeah.
How much does that end up being for that? I mean, it's going to click over pretty soon.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep. You kind of get it's just luck. Some days you hop in here at 0.
Yeah.
Some days you hop in here and it's at 9.
I guess it all evens out.
Yeah. In the end it does, yeah. Well, because before with the other type of hops, you didn't even know. It was basically, is the number showing at all or not at all,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I hate when it's in between and it's like, okay, well, what do you put?
Well, what we always do is we had 1 cent rule. If you can see the number at all, you count it as that number.
Okay.
So if it rolls up, you can see the top of the 5, then it's 5.
That's 5, okay.
Then everybody's dealing with the same thing.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
So once again, you may have climbed in and it was at the top of the 4. You count it as a 4, and some days, you know, you get the whole thing.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of a tailwind, but should be alright. Pretty good. See if you can scoot it forward a little bit. Use the pedals to break away the traction. But always put in a little bit of left. There you go. Alright, a little bit of left pedal. Sorry, right pedal. My fault. I'm looking down at the ground. A little bit more. There we go. Good. Cool. So when you slide it forward, since you have that translating tendency, you always want to put in a little bit of left cycling because otherwise it'll slowly just slide that way. Now it's hot with the jacket.
Yeah, I know, airspeed.
In your case, you're sitting on a 0.8 right now, so it looks like by the time you shut down, it's going to be sitting at 0.9 anyhow.
Yeah.
All right, that's good enough. So just roll it down, pull off the clutch. Alright, go ahead and pull the mixture. Yeah, see, ended at 7.9, so right back to 0. What's that smell of alcohol?
Oh, smell it.
I smelled rubbing alcohol for a second.